Hello and welcome to the weekly Global Heartstream. I'm Gabriel Gonzalez, a professional coach, artist, and speaker who enjoys traveling the world, connecting with amazing people, and talking about the longest, most rewarding journey that you'll ever embark on, the 12-inch journey between your head and your heart. Through individual and group coaching programs, online courses, and live seminars, I teach a heart-centered approach to personal mastery, leadership development, and spiritual growth that helps people become the most loving, joyful, and powerful version of themselves. The Global Heartstream is a weekly dedicated space to help you reconnect with your heart, raise your vibrational frequency, and remind you just how powerful, loving, and amazing you already are. It's also an invitation to unify our hearts with the intention of bringing more love, compassion, and healing to a world that so desperately needs it. You can find out more about my work by visiting gabrielgonsalves.com, where you can also sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, and register for my upcoming seminars. And if you enjoy this Heartstream, please be sure to subscribe, like, or comment so that we can reach more people and help make this a more loving, compassionate, and heart-centered world. Hello and welcome to the Global Heartstream. I'm your host, Gabriel Gonzalez, broadcasting today live Wednesday, the 23rd of November, a day before Thanksgiving in the US. So to all my subscribers and followers, all the members of this growing community of heart-centered people around the planet who happen to live in the US or who happen to celebrate Thanksgiving, a very happy Thanksgiving to you. Welcome, Ellen. Welcome, Veronica. Welcome, Irish. I'm laughing because I almost say welcome, Gabriel, because I saw a message from me saying hello, everybody. Welcome, Joseph, John Joseph Newman. You have a beautiful name, brother. Thank you so much for being with us today as we continue on this monthly theme that we've initiated on a more prosperous year. Today, we are going to be talking about how to remove the inner blocks to creating wealth. So I'm going to be sharing with you some slides or some material that I shared in a recent workshop called The Heart of Money. I think a couple of you who are here may have attended that workshop. It was a Saturday workshop we did a few weeks ago. And let me ask you a question, since we're on this topic of money. When you think about money, when you hear the word money, what's the first word that comes to your mind? I love it if you could share it in the chat or in the comment section below. Many of us have different associations to money. I remember that for a very long time, money represented freedom to me. So if you'd ask me this question, what word do you associate or what feeling do you associate with money? It was freedom. But then when I moved to South Africa and began my life again from scratch and didn't have any money because I lost my job, I lost my main source of income. I was also mugged, so I didn't have my credit cards, ID, money, or access to be able to even access to the money that I had, a little bit of money that I had. I began to associate the lack of money, believe it or not, with freedom. There's great money in having freedom, but there's also even greater money in greater freedom in not having any money, because you're like, okay, well, I don't have any money, so I don't have to worry about money. Yeah, of course, there's people to pay, but I don't have any money, so why worry about it? So the opposite can be true. Irish says abundance. Ellen says security. Cindy says stability. Sarah says necessary for living. Peter says happiness. John says luxury, freedom. Yeah, wonderful. Keep them coming. Keep your comments coming. I'd love to see what comes up for you. It's one of the areas, as I spoke during our first series or first conversation in this series, where there's also a tremendous amount of wounding, right? A tremendous amount of anger, guilt, pride, shame, and we're going to be exploring that a little bit more. I mean, when my father passed away, my whole family experienced a tremendous amount of separation and anger and discord as a result of my father's inheritance. So it really broke down the family, the relationship, and created a lot of wounding. It's one of the most overlooked relationships where there's been major wounding, hence the importance of talking about it. All right, well, you're making your comments. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel so that you can receive notifications if you haven't already done that. I know several of you who are here haven't subscribed yet to the channel, so please go ahead and do that. And if you find that these weekly Heartstreams and my guided meditations and my other free offerings are adding value to your life and you would like to express your appreciation, please feel free to make a donation in support of this work by visiting my website, gabrielgonzalez.com/donate. Plus, whenever you're ready, there are 3 ways that I can help you become the best, most loving, authentic, and even abundant and powerful version of yourself. One of them is enrolling in the upcoming 2023 Heart Leader Training Program. This is my 9-month advanced certified training program in heart intelligence coaching, small group facilitation, and transformational leadership. You can also register for the Heart Warrior. This is a shorter version of the Heart Leader that specifically focuses on developing the skills of emotional self-mastery, shadow reintegration, compassion, and communication. So this might be a better option for people who are just waking up to their hearts and who wants to just develop some new skills. You're not quite ready yet to follow the path of the Heart Leader, but you're ready to start doing the cleanup that is necessary. And part of this process we've been talking about this whole month of healing your relationship with money is one of the things that we speak about during that program. You're healing, in essence, your relationship with life. And then finally, the third way is scheduling a one-on-one coaching session with me. Information about all these programs and my coaching services are available at my website, gabrielgonzalez.com. All right, so let's dive into today's topic, removing the inner blocks to wealth. What does that mean to you when you hear removing the inner blocks to wealth? Well, to review for some of you that are new to this work or that are not familiar with some of the concepts and ideas that I constantly refer to back in not only my trainings but also in these Heartstreams. If you were to reverse engineer the manifestation process, whatever results you have at this moment, whatever the results that you are experiencing, could be money, could be your romantic relationship, could be whatever it is, it's normally preceded by some kind of an action that either took place or did not take place. And those actions are normally preceded by the conversations that we have. Now, the conversations are normally preceded by our worldview. From our perspective, if you see the world, for example, as a dangerous place where you constantly have to be protecting yourself, if you see a world, speaking about money, as a world of scarcity, where you have to sacrifice and work really hard, and where you believe in what it's been told by many people, that the money is the root of all evil, which is not, by the way. Okay, it's the love of money, especially above God. All right, if you believe that all these different things, then that will change how you see the world. And so, where are you with regards to money on this ladder, this proverbial ladder? Okay, it's going to define ultimately where your results come. So your results are directly influenced by what you're holding in your mind, in your heart at any given time. All right, so like just to show you the little picture here. So do you see the glass of money Think about your bank account as half full or half empty, because your experience of it or your perspective of it will ultimately determine your experience. It's not only a law of quantum physics, but it's also just a law of life. That's why we can ultimately arrive at the concept of idea that what you appreciate appreciates. So last week we explored Ganesha, remember, and we looked at this hidden symbology within Ganesha, and we saw how in the hand positions of Ganesha, this beautiful Indian god of prosperity and the removal of obstacles, we see the dual nature of our universe, where everything comes from source, but the act of creation of money comes in the giving and receiving. Giving of our talents, our gifts, sharing them in service of others, and then obviously being compensated as a result. Okay, and so this is where I want us to bring our attention today, to this act of giving or receiving. The law of circulation states that money is like blood. Okay. It needs to be in constant circulation throughout the body. Otherwise, it begins to clog and stagnate. And what happens when that happens? What happens? Well, you have to have that limb amputated. That part that is not being irrigated died. So if we stop circulating our life energy, if we stop circulating our money, if we have blocks to giving or receiving somewhere, which blocks the circulation, right, that is going to affect our ability to receive money. So it's important that we think of money. In fact, the money or the word currency comes from the word current. So when we're talking about having access to currency, it basically we're talking about something that is fluid, like water, like blood. And it's important then to maintain the channels are open. So the question I want to ask you as we go into today's guided meditation, and then for the next few moments, is how are you keeping money away from you? What is it that you're doing, either conscious or unconscious, that might be keeping you from experiencing greater financial abundance, money, or wealth? Because here's the thing. If money is the result of giving and receiving, and there is this circulatory nature to how money manifests in our lives, if there is a problem giving, you're always going to have a problem receiving. If there's a problem receiving, you're always going to have a problem giving. It really boils down to math. Okay. And so the question is, at the level of giving, what is it that might be keeping you from expressing your unique gifts and natural talents and service to others? More oftentimes than not, one of the things that keeps us from expressing ourselves is fear of being seen, fear of speaking our truth, fear of being judged, criticized, and deep down underneath that fear, there's a sense of unworthiness. I'm not worthy. Who's going to pay me for this? What I have is, who's going to value this? Remember that money is in essence an expression of value. So there's this sense of core unworthiness that lies at the heart of our culture, that it gets ingrained and even indoctrinated into us. And from the very beginning, one of the main traditions tells us that we're born with this original sin. Wow. Imagine being born and right off the bat, you're being told like there's something really bad about you. And like, what is that? Well, it's your original sin. Oh, and so right away, we were born with a sense of we're not good enough, we're broken, there's something wrong with us. And so the block might be at that level, fear of expressing, fear of asking for what deep down is valued. Not valuing yourself comes again from that sense of unworthiness. But the block may also be happening in the other side. It could also be happening in the receiving side. So here I would ask you, how are you keeping yourself for being more receptive and available to what others would like to give you. One of the things that happens, and this I can certainly say I'm guilty of this, Your Honor, is a lot of heart center people, a lot of people who are by nature heart center, prefer to give than to receive. Right? Because we're naturally givers, we're heart center. We love to help people. But one of the things that we don't like to do, and I tell you that, is to receive. And, I struggle with this, and I still struggle with this sometimes, because I believe sometimes that if I ask people for help, they're going to say like, oh my God, this guy doesn't have his crap together. This guy is not perfect. And so fear that people will think I'm less than, fear to let people down, fear to be rejected. Certainly a sense of pride that like I know best, so I'll get it done, I'll get it handled, don't worry about it, I got this. That this sense of pride that oftentimes keeps us from asking for help, asking for assistance, asking for what we need. Okay, so again, the blocks may be happening either in the giving or the receiving or simultaneously. This is what allows Jesus' channeling in A Course of Miracle to eventually conclude that whatever it is that you think it's missing in your life is because you are not giving it. Giving it is where it begins. If you notice, every great and amazing person who has cultivated wealth and an abundant attitude and lifestyle and everything, the very first thing that they did was they began to give of their gift. They had an idea, they took some action, they brought it out to the world. And as the money came in, they put it back out into circulation, and they invested in their equipment, they gave to people, and so they kept it circulating. All right, it's one of the keys, principles. Again, we must circulate our money if we want some money. You beginning with circulating your own gift and your natural talents. But at the level of the blocks, as I was saying earlier, there's this sense that we all have, and it's just part of the human conditions, especially if we haven't really waken up yet to our hearts. And what I mean by that, I'm not speaking about the political wakefulness that we're speaking about these days. No, I'm speaking about waking up to love, waking up to our interconnected with all of beings, waking up to the reality that we exist in relationship to everything, and that we are interdependent of each other, and that ultimately in this holy relationship that we share, we're ultimately one. That's the waking up that I'm speaking about. All right. But one of the things that gets in the way, it's all these lower level emotions: pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, shame. If you, for example, have this desire for money, or there's something that you really deeply desire, and then you see that somebody else has it, it's very natural if you see that anger may rise in you. And so you may be then either knowingly or unknowingly holding these feelings of anger towards another person. It's like, why do they get to have that? Why do they get, I'm working so hard to have this, and why they were born with this and they don't value it, and I'm so angry at them. Well, by you holding on to that anger over somebody else having what you think or believe should be yours or should have already been yours, what you're doing is you're keeping yourself from having that same thing. It's a block. You being jealous, you being proud about it, you being angry, you staying in that sense of fear, and then all the lower levels emotions keeps you in a powerless place that is called victimhood, helplessness, where you're angry at life, blaming others, blaming God. God didn't give me this. God didn't give me that. He gave Gabriel this. He gave this other person that. Why don't I have that? That is one of the greatest blocks. That anger, that resentment that you hold in your heart, it closes your heart. And what happens when you have a closed heart? Little blood flows. That's really what happens. And little electromagnetic energy flows through it as well. So you feel powerless. constantly walking around with his feelings, somebody love me, somebody like me, there's something wrong with me. Okay, and you're constantly looking outside of yourself for validation. But this again comes to a halting stop the moment you choose to take personal responsibility for your own well-being and choose to basically admit the truth to yourself, to begin to embrace these new spiritual concepts and ideas, and begin to little by little move into a place of courage, neutrality, the willingness to see things different, right? Play a greater place of acceptance, reason. And then from that space, you begin to move into what Dr. David Hawkins calls the dimension of love, which he calibrates at 500 and 540, which is when you begin to align with this energetic field or intelligence, call it higher love, wisdom, power, whatever it is, that nurtures, loves, cares for, and supports all of life. Some people call this the God, but this is the dimension ultimately of your heart. And so our goal is, or our prerogative here, what's important if you really want to then release these blocks that you may have, emotional, energetic, etc., that are keeping you stuck, is that you ultimately then heal your relationship with money. You must heal it. You must see money as just something else that you are in relationship with, that it actually doesn't even exist as a thing because it's more of a concept, an idea, designed or invented by humans to express value. All right. So how do you go about healing then your relationship with money so that you can let go of this anger, guilt, shame, or everything that you may be harboring? Well, it is really no different than the way you would go about healing a relationship with somebody that you love and that you care for and that's important to you. How would you go about doing that? Well, if I had, let's say, misunderstanding and a really bad relationship with Cindy, okay? Hi, Cindy again. She spoke about stability. Um, and let's say I wanted to heal that relationship. Well, I would need to then sit down with Cindy and have a conversation with her where we can complete the past, where we can forgive each other for what happened, understand the mistakes, embrace the mistakes that were made, and ultimately by sharing how we felt and what happened, then we can find that place of acceptance and forgiveness, and then just say, okay, I'm ready to turn the page. Great. And then what do you do then? You complete the past, then now it's time to come into the present. And you do this by appreciating right now the relationship. So if I'm healing my relationship with Cindy, then after we speak about what happened in the past, then we may come into a place where we say, you know what, I really value you a lot. Thank you. You've been a very supportive friend, and I love your the way that you speak to me. I love how every time I never heard you say a negative word about me. I love how compassionate you are with your family, with your children. I love how thoughtful you are. And so at that moment, you come back into the present to, in essence, do what gratitude and appreciation does, which is to remind the person how valuable they are. Now, if you think about it, that's the opposite of guilt and shame, or the sense of unworthiness, right? Because unworthiness is the energy, is the feeling, is the vibration that says, I have no value, I have nothing to give. But the moment somebody reminds you how valuable you are, what happens? Your energy goes up. That's why this season is so important, because appreciation is the key not only to opening your heart, changing your vibrational frequency, but also to healing whatever that may be that needs to be healed. So in this case of money, it's very important that you appreciate your current level of resources, people, the gifts, the talents that you have. Appreciate also yourself for how far you have come along this journey. All right. Remembering teaches the teaching, of Jesus the Christ, when he says, to he who has, more shall be given, to he who has not, even that which they have, it shall be taken away. So he's speaking about having ultimately appreciation, recognizing the value. And then obviously the next step from that, which is what we're going to be looking at next week, is you begin then to create a new vision for the kind of relationship you would like to have, and you start to make new choices that are in alignment with that vision. So if, for example, in this example I was speaking about, Cindy, so after we forgive each other for what happened in the past, and then we find a place of appreciating each other, then we may come into a place where we may say, well, you know what, I really see us moving forward and doing these kind of things together and having this kind of relationships, and we set a new intention to be this way, to do this, to show up this way. And so at that moment, we're beginning now to create a new future, which undoubtedly will begin to pull us. Okay. That it's one of the laws of manifestation. So how can you then go and forgive and complete the past? Well, here are some examples. Okay. And we're going to do some of these when we go into the meditation in just a few moments. Okay. We may come to a place where we connect with our hearts and through our hearts to the infinitely loving heart of God. And we may say something like, dear God, dear divine, I'm sorry for all the past mistakes I've made regarding money. Please forgive me, as I also forgive others and myself fully, wholly, and completely. You can, in your mind's eye, and then bringing the person into your heart, you could also say something along the lines of, dear John, I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. This is the very basic Ho'oponopono forgiveness affirmation and tool, which again is beautiful, and it works as long as you feel it in your heart. If you just repeat the words, just out of your head, chances, it's just a mental thing. But we want to do it from the heart. Or you could do like one of my mentors suggested. You could even go beyond this lifetime, connect to the infinite God the infinite loving heart of God and the totality, and apologize not just to people in this lifetime, but for your ancestors and even souls that in other lifetimes you may have hurt. Okay, so you may use a sentence of forgiveness that says something along the lines of, dear all souls that my soul and my ancestors' souls have hurt, harmed, or taken advantage of in previous lifetimes, and in this lifetime, I sincerely apologize for the mistakes that my soul and my ancestors' souls made in previous lifetimes and this lifetime. Please forgive us. I've learned my lessons. I'm sorry. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you. So you can expand this concept, this idea of Ho'oponopono coming into your heart and then sending out this energy of gratitude and forgiveness, and then also beginning to establish a deeper connection with with your own divine self. Okay, this is really what we're doing. So we're going to move into the guided meditation now. We hit the halftime point, kind of like in a soccer game, and we're going to initiate this guided meditation today doing a little bit of heart tapping. Heart tapping is a very powerful tool that I have sort of come up with naturally as I've been training different healing modalities, especially energetic healing modalities. And it's wonderful to clear mental, emotional, and energetic blocks around anything. But here we're going to be using it specifically with regards to money. And this technique combines heart coherence, emotional freedom technique, EFT, kinesiology, Bradley Nielsen's emotion code, access consciousness, the clearing statement, slightly modified version, and affirmative prayer. All right, so I'm going to read you the statement quickly, just because I'm going to have you repeat it with me in just a few moments. What we're going to do, we're going to find a place of coherence, and then we are going to then say, in the name of divine love, I, and then you will say your name, willingly delete, uncreate, neutralize, and transmute the cause, record, and memory of anything and everything, conscious or unconscious, keeping me from attracting, receiving, and creating money. Right or wrong, good or bad, to the point of creation and destruction, at all levels of manifestation, to the smallest quantum particles across timelines, dimensions, and universes, without avoidance or resistance. Amen. Okay. I know it sounds like a mouthful, but don't worry. We're going to initiate this process now, and so you don't have to remember it, but just simply repeat it and then feel it in your heart. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. Let's now transition into our experiential part of our time together. And let's move now into our guided meditation designed to help you release any mental, emotional, or energetic blocks that you may have around money and wealth creation. I oftentimes don't realize how much I've been speaking until I get quiet. And then I go, oh my God. My mind's been busy. All right. Ensuring that your feet are on the ground. I take a few moments to close the eyes and then bring the awareness to the body. We begin with the body because our body gives us access to the present moment, where our mind is constantly thinking about the past or the future. This connection with our heart's rhythm, our breath, and all the sense experiences that we're having connects us to the here and the now, which is the only place where God is. This is why Jesus taught, be still and know. He did not say, think about the past. No. He did not say, visualize the future. And no. He said, be still. We place a hand over the heart. And for the next few moments, we do exactly what the master teacher instructed us. We become still. We welcome thoughts, feelings, sensations. We welcome any desires or anything that shows up, allowing it all to be part of this present moment experience. We're not trying to change anything. We're not trying to make anything happen. We're simply being present to what is. To be still is to be present. To be still is to know. To know is to remember. To remember is to learn. To learn through the heart. We begin now to breathe slowly, deeply, and intimate, and evenly, straight into the heart. Almost as if you could breathe right through the chest. As you inhale in and breathe out. focusing the breath on the heart. As you let go of any unnecessary tension around the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Letting go of any excess tension around the torso, the chest, the stomach area, the pelvic area. Relaxing, letting go, staying present, breathing in and out of the heart, noticing not just the breath, but also the gentle lub-dub of your heartbeat right there where your hand is. Now we activate the heart-brain coherence, sense of unity and harmony within the body by feeling gratitude and appreciation. So we think about someone that we appreciate or someone who we know in our hearts appreciates us, cares for us. It could be a human being, could be a person from the past, or it could even be a divine being. We let appreciation be the key that opens the heart. As you continue to breathe in and out of the heart and feel this vibration of gratitude, allow me to speak the following words on your behalf. In the name I am that I am, in the name of my holy Christ self, in the name of the Christ self of every person here today, in the live call or listening to the replay, I unify my heart to the infinitely loving heart of God, knowing that where God is, I am. Where I am, God is. And that I am one with the heart of God beating inside my heart. The heart of God beating in me, through me, and as me. I give thanks for this heartbeat. I give thanks for this life. I give thanks for all the people in my life I am sharing this journey with. For all the experiences that have made me who I am. I give thanks for all that I have. I give thanks for all that I get to do. Dear God, please forgive us for all past mistakes that we have made regarding money. Please forgive us as we also forgive ourselves, forgive others, and forgive life. Dear souls and all the souls of our ancestors, dear all souls from previous lifetimes, We sincerely apologize for the mistakes that our souls and our ancestors made in previous lifetimes and in this lifetime. In the name of the Christ, please forgive us. For we have learned our lessons and we're sorry. For we love you and we appreciate you. We know that whatever was done out of ignorance, was done out of fear, was done out of pride. I allow the healing waters of the infinite river of your love to enter our hearts and to cleanse and purify us of anything and everything that is keeping us from giving or receiving. Be it money, be it wealth, be it abundance, be it wellness, be it love, be it harmony. Let all blocks, conscious or unconscious, be dissolved by the power of thy love. Now, please gently rub the area around the high heart chakra, right above where your thymus gland is. Gently. Now, either taking 2 fingers or taking all the fingers, we're just going to begin to gently tap right there. Soft, gentle tap. Because we're working at the level of subtle energy, there's no need to tap hard. It's very gentle. Breathing right there. Directing your life force, your breath straight into that area. Now please repeat after me. In the name of divine love, I, and then send your name, willingly delete and uncreate neutralize and transmute the cause, record, or memory of anything and everything conscious or unconscious, keeping me from attracting, receiving, and creating money. Right or wrong, good or bad, to the point of creation and destruction. At all levels of manifestation, to the smallest quantum particles. Across timelines, dimensions, and universes. Without avoidance or resistance. Amen. We take a deep inhale now into the heart and let out an ah. We exhale and we visualize it all leaving. Once again, deep inhale into the heart. Ah. One last time, deep inhale into the heart. Ah. Now take a moment to feel gratitude once again and to amplify that feeling of gratitude by thinking about how far you have come on your journey, for the person that you have become, for the qualities that you're developing and have grown, the wisdom that you have acquired, all the trials, all the tribulations of the past, all the confusion have made you stronger, wiser, and even more powerful. Feel gratitude also for all those people, those friends, those companions, those teachers that supported you along your journey, that have held an unconditional loving space for you. Feel it in your heart and allow, on the count of 3, for that energy, that feeling of gratitude to multiply times 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Multiply. And radiate it out to those people, almost as if saying, thank you for being there for me. Thank you. For being my teacher. Thank you. For helping me wake up. Thank you. For answering the call to be here with me in this lifetime. As my friend, as my guide, as my companion. Thank you. And now from this place of gratitude, please repeat the following affirmations with me. I am grateful for the money that I have. I have the power to attract wealth and money into my life. I attract money easily and effortlessly each day. I am worthy of financial success. With love, I release all resistance to attracting wealth. The more I focus on joy, the more money I make. My capacity to give and receive expands every day. Now radiate this feeling of gratitude out to every person in this circle, in this Heartstream. Visualize this wave of gratitude and blessings and appreciation going out also to your friends and your family. See it go out there into the world. Sending blessings, sharing the treasures of your heart, remembering the beautiful mantra received by Elizabeth Clare Prophet for circulating. I am free from fear and doubt, casting want and misery out, knowing now all good supply ever comes from realms of high. I am the hand of God's own fortune flooding forth treasures of light, now receiving full abundance to supply each need of life. Receiving love to nurture my heart and nurture others' heart. Receiving wisdom, sharing my wisdom, awakening new gifts that I'm now willing and able to share with the world. And all these blessings go out there and be multiplied in the name of the Christ. And may they be received infinitely, quantified according to divine law. And so it is. And it is so. Amen. Finally, we ask our hearts, is there someone or something that I'm not appreciating in my life? What can I do this week to express my appreciation to myself, others, and life? Gently now initiate our full return to our physical awareness, to this present moment, to the room and the space that surround us as we open our eyes and check in with ourselves. And let me ask you now, what new insights, what new realizations or awarenesses are you taking away with you? If you feel up for it, please share them in the comment section below. Remembering again to like this video and subscribe, and if you haven't already done that. And that if you find these guided meditations and free offerings useful and would like to express your gratitude and appreciation, you can support this work by making a donation at my website, gabrielgonzalez.com. All right, my beautiful friends, we're now coming to the end of our time together. This hour went by so quickly. My goodness. Gee. All right. Well, I sincerely hope you received a lot of value from our time together. And as always, anytime that we're doing any kind of energetic, emotional work, it's very important that you stay hydrated. Okay. So be sure you're drinking lots of fluids to stay replenished. Not beer and wine, Peter and Ellen, all right? Alcohol is a diuretic. It will dehydrate you. So that's something else that will hydrate you. Okay, it's important you stay hydrated. Remember that you are made primarily out of water. And so it's very important anytime you're doing healing energetic work that you stay hydrated so emotions can be processed and move through you. All right, Ellen says, grateful for everything, even the hard moments. Yeah, it's one of the ways to transcend them, when you can find that place of appreciation in your heart. Peter says, I feel aware of how connected I am to an infinite source of love and wealth. Beautiful, Peter. Thank you. Marilyn says, thanks, God, for your love and guidance. You're welcome, Marilyn. Mariette says, peace. Beautiful. Cindy's hair says, forgiveness, gratitude, and awareness for this moment. Beautiful. Great. All right, my beautiful friends. Thank you once again for being here with me every Wednesday, for your commitment to tune in, connect, and energize your heart week after week. We're all in this together, supporting each other, strengthening each other's field, and overall helping strengthen the overall planetary grid with the energy of our hearts. When we continue next week on this topic of a more prosperous you, we'll be talking about all the money in the world. We'll be talking about what I think it's the formula to creating and having all the money you could possibly ever want to have. All right, that'll be coming up next week. All right, my beautiful friends, thank you again for being here today. Please have a beautiful, amazing Thanksgiving week, those of you who are celebrating it in the US. And please remember to take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for joining me in this week's Heartstream. I hope you're walking away feeling more connected to yourself and your divinity, to the planet, to others, and to all of life. Please be sure to subscribe so that you can receive notifications about upcoming broadcasts. And if you would like to sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, or register for my upcoming trainings and seminars, be sure to visit my website, gabrielgonzalez.com. Until the next time, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye for now.